I'm Jay. He's Matty. This is Yankee and the Brit. And we're coming at you with the Mavericks and the Anthem controversy. But first, Matty, say hi to everybody.
Yeah, hi guys, how are we all doing? The reason I'm in all this Welsh kit today, as I've been telling Jay before, is we're here to talk about national anthems, which are really important to me, especially around this time of year, because it is the Six Nations, which is when all the countries in the UK, so England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, all play rugby against each other, as well as France and Italy. And we all got very patriotic about our little corners of the UK. And I'm part Welsh, like I was born in Wales and my dad's Welsh, and we get very behind Wales. And Wales won today. They beat Scotland. So Cymru and Bith. Come on, boys.
All right. For all of us Americans, we have no idea, but congratulations to Wales for kicking some ass.
There we go.
And actually, rugby's getting bigger and bigger in the U.S. because the city I live in has a summer league and an indoor winter league. So it's getting bigger. I know you told me to go check on the different rules of rugby.
Yeah. It's the kind of sport that I think the US could really get behind. I think you guys would really enjoy it. And you have there's rugby sevens, which you guys are unbelievable at, because you guys have like Carlin Isles, who's considered the fastest rugby player on the planet. And you guys don't know who that is, but he's an absolute superstar in all the other rugby playing nations, and he's from the US. And Teddy Baker as well, two US rugby players that are absolutely massive for people who love rugby sevens. So yeah.
The most truthful thing ever said on this show is you guys don't know who he is. But anyway, so we decided to come on and talk a little bit about the national anthem and what's going on with the Mavericks and Mark Cuban. And I'll just start by saying I love Mark Cuban. I love him. And it's not a political, I know he's very democratic and whatever. This isn't about that. For me, what Mark Cuban is, one, he's entertaining as hell on Shark Tank. And two, things he does for his players, like not even just the great planes and the accommodations. Anybody who knows the Delonte West story of where his ex-player was out homeless last year, living on the street, he heard about it. He didn't send somebody. He got in his own fucking car and spent 3 days finding dude because he wanted him to come with, got him into treatment. And now Delonte West is out helping other people who are down on their luck. And this is just one story of really great shit Cuban has done, because not saying everybody born with money is shitty, but he knows what it's like to not have money and then become a billionaire, which I think makes him do really incredible things with his money. But when it comes, so I'm kind of a homer when it comes to Mark Cuban. And I really backed him on his idea of not playing the national anthem. And only because he felt like people in their community felt really underserved by what was going on in the United States. Also, I think he didn't want to cause a big problem and a mockery of the national anthem. So I think it was kind of respect for both sides. And now we're sitting where he just got bullied by Commissioner Silver that he's going to have to play the national anthem at home games.
Yeah, I think it's a very strange thing for people in the UK to see you guys are playing city against city, so you're all in the same country, you all have the same national anthem, and you still play it at every game. I find that so strange. So when Manchester United play Liverpool, they don't play God Save the Queen. Like we don't, I think they play God Save the Queen at the FA Cup final. That's the only time they play it in domestic football. Obviously, when England play France, they sing God Save the Queen, and the French sing La Marseillaise and stuff like that. So I think it's very weird for Europeans to see you guys playing it anyway at sports events, like domestic sports events. I find that very strange. But I don't think any private company should have to play any music they don't want to play. Like it's their game. Like it's his building. He doesn't have to. And as you said, I think there were a lot of people saying, we're going to kneel for the national anthem. So instead of having the controversy of kneeling, he took it out. He just got rid of it. And let's be honest, not many people realized it until the media realized it and started releasing it to everybody. Like you didn't notice. Like a very minute amount of people noticed. And maybe that was because there wasn't anybody at the game, but you know, not many people noticed. So it would kind of been that big a deal.
I hate to generalize, but I'm pretty much nobody at home gets lined up and sits and waits for the national anthem, right? It's when you're running to the bathroom, you're getting food, letting your dog out, whatever you do. Not that it's disrespectful, but you're at home, so you don't even think about it that way. And also, I agree, if the stadium was full, it probably would have been noticed sooner. Yeah. But I also agree with you. Nobody, a private business owner, especially in the United States, because we talk about being the land of the free, you know, should be forced to do things unless it's discriminatory. You know what I mean? You can't discriminate. You can't do certain things. And with the national anthem, it's such a hot button topic, but here's where it's weird. So anybody your age in the United States in their 20s grew up seeing all the players out there for the national anthem. I'm 42. They didn't come out for the national anthem when I was younger. It was played, but the players were still in the locker room doing their thing, getting ready for the game. It was to get the crowd excited. This is something you can talk about that we've talked about, a good transition. But it was more, and there was a singer out there, but it was usually, unless it was a huge game, some young kid who could sing or some local celebrity. And then the crowd would sing with them, get excited, and then the players would be introduced, come out, and the game would start. But me and you talked about something very interesting, so I'll just lead you into how you look at that differently because of how you guys do it.
Yeah, so to build on that, obviously we mainly talk about American football, and we've just been watching the Super Bowl. And I think I text you halfway through the national anthem saying, I don't understand how you guys do the national anthem. I just don't get it. Like, why does the national anthem have to be a pop song? I don't understand, like, why you have to get somebody on here who's doing loads of runs and loads of crazy stuff that nobody can sing along with, and all everybody does is cheer when it says, when the flag starts to flutter and stuff like that. And I know I'm British, and I know I shouldn't be chatting shit about your national anthem, because obviously, like, it's about getting rid of us guys, so, like, fair enough. But the way that we have the national anthem is it's so special, and it really connects people. And especially with coming from Wales, what's special about our national anthem is it's in Welsh. So I don't speak Welsh, but I know the national anthem, which is in the native language, and everybody in the stadium, 75,000 people, all sing it together as loud as they can, often tears coming from the players' eyes. And it's because it's special, because they don't do it week in, week out, game in, game out. I just don't understand it. It should be a special thing to bring everybody together. I'm sure we could have a clip of how Wales do the anthem at some point in this video, and you guys could check that out and really feel like the passion. And it's at football games as well when Wales play England, and I know it's the same for the Scottish, I know it's the same for the English, I know it's the same for the Irish as well, and the French. Honestly, if you listen to the French sing their national anthem, it bring a tear to your eye, and you wouldn't understand what's going on either. Like, you wouldn't understand a word, but it would bring a tear to your eye because you see the passion of everybody singing it. So I think the fact that it just turns into a pop song, and what was happening at the Super Bowl was a country pop mix of a national anthem. So I would actually see that as somebody disrespecting my national anthem if they turn the Welsh national anthem into doing that, or if they changed. I'm not too big on the monarchy, so don't really care what they say about God Save the Queen. You can do what you want. But like, if they change the Welsh national anthem into like a pop song and stuff, I would find that really difficult to watch. And I don't understand how you can get upset with somebody for not playing the national anthem if not everybody's going to be singing along to it anyway, because it's turned into some sort of pop culture thing. And then to segue into the next point on that, I think also with the American national anthem being played at domestic events, obviously in the Olympics, in basketball, it makes sense. But the Dallas Mavericks' best two players are from Eastern Europe. They're not from the States. That's not their anthem. They're not. Like, the reason the Dallas Mavericks are actually, I really like them and I watch them, is because Kristaps Porzingis is from Latvia, which is where my girlfriend's from, and that's why I support them. So it's not his anthem. So why should he have to listen to it every game? Like, I think that's strange as well. And you don't see the Latvians when they play basketball playing it all the time over and over again as well.
And I don't think you were being disrespectful when you said that, talking shit or whatever. I think it's a good, it's just showing the differences in our countries, like how we look at it differently, right? Yeah. We're in the United States. I don't know where it started or why, but I can remember my whole lifetime the national anthem being played at every big sporting event. and even a couple concerts, big concerts I was at, oddly. I mean, but this was never strange to me because Jimi Hendrix doing it on his guitar was a big deal, before my time, but I grew up on that, and I get where you're saying changing it is kind of like you guys over there would feel almost disrespectful. Where here, I feel like it's a sign of respect to like feel it like as the singer that you want to make it so good that you want to put your own twist to it also. And it's become this, like, I want to do it better than she did or he did type thing also. But for you guys to understand what Matty's talking about, just sit here for a second and check out this clip. All right, guys, after you saw that clip, then maybe it gives you a little better understanding of what Matty was talking about when it comes to it, just the differences between the United States and other countries.
Yeah, I think it's just a way of, it should be special. Like, it shouldn't have to happen every game. And I do understand why there's uproar. The national anthem is very important to a lot of people, but it's somebody's private business. I don't understand why he should be forced to play it. I think the main worry for me is the fact that he's been forced to play it rather than there was such an uproar about him not playing it. Like, I think the NBA could have said, there's a massive uproar, would you consider playing it? And if he said no, then they should respect his wishes because it's his private building.
Yeah, anybody who watches Real Talk with me understands I love America. And I even say the dysfunctional functionality of America is what makes me absolutely love it, right? So I don't want this to sound like I'm not a patriot or I don't love my country, but like I said, it's America. He's a private business owner. It really bothers me when things are forced upon people who own a business, or just stupidly in like certain subdivisions. If you have a house, it has to have 30% brick, or you have to do that. That shit really annoys me. Because I'm like, I'm a fucking American and you're not going to tell me how to do shit. Now, you can feel any way you want about Mark Cuban's decision. But I believe that as an American, or even you looking in from England, but I can't speak from other people, that we should look at Mark Cuban and go, even if I don't agree with you, it is your fucking team. You paid $1 billion or whatever, 700 million, whatever he bought it for back in the day, for that team. You own that.
Yeah, and if he wants to play it when fans come back in, like if he's doing it for the fans when the fans come back in, then that's fair enough. But while there's no fans there, I don't see any harm in him making a statement and saying, look, my players have decided this isn't right for us, so we're not going to play it. And the people in the community have decided it's not right for them. We're not going to play it. And I just think the States is, with stuff like this hasn't made big news in the UK. I follow a lot of American sports, so that's why I know about it. It's not massive news in the UK, but if little things like this keep on happening, I think the States could be in trouble of just seeming like you're already like starting to lose a bit of your rep, but in a bit more trouble, if you get what I mean, with the European countries looking at you and being like, maybe not, and stuff like the Pledge of Allegiance. We look at that and we find strange and stuff like that. Like I find it very strange. I know you guys don't do that anymore, but like in certain schools, I'm sure they have to kind of do it.
It depends on what state you're in and what city, and have you been sued for doing it? And weird things happen. That's another thing where I just grew up with, never thought twice about it because it's just something we did. And like you stood up every morning, put your hand over your heart. But honestly, as I get older, like I said, I understand why people want other people to do it. But as an American, I believe that our freedom is the fact that we have the right to say, no, I'm not doing it. Even if you think I'm a scumbag for not doing it. Yeah. And again, I said I'm biased. And the last thing I'll say on Mark Cuban and the Mavericks, like I said, I'm biased and I love Cuban, but I don't think he meant any disrespect to anybody by it.
I don't think so either.
And I actually think he was trying to be respectful to all sides, which you'll never make all sides happy.
Yeah, I think the main reason he did it was some players went to him and said, look, we don't feel happy. We will be taking the knee. And he was like, holy shit, we're in Texas. Maybe we shouldn't play the national anthem this week. Like,
I agree.
Like play it a bit. I think that's the main reason behind it. But I think the backlash is what shocked me. And just the last thing I imagine that we're going to say on this. But if you guys want to see some real passion about it, I would never really recommend Undisputed to anybody. But Shannon Sharp speaking about this issue was amazing. I listened there and I sat to him, and then Skip Bayless, who has the opposite opinion, and it was really interesting to hear both sides. Like, I feel like Skip Bayless is a bit of a douchebag and Shannon is sometimes a bit over the top, but that's their show. That's what they try to do. They try to disagree on purpose, but this was really real and really raw. And if you guys want to go watch a clip of that, just to understand like how both sides kind of think about it, like me and Jay are obviously kind of leaning more towards one side than the other, then Undisputed is a good place to go check that debate out as well.
Yeah, I actually watched it and I didn't agree with Skip, but I understood where he was coming from for once in my life. And I'll never truly understand where Shannon's coming from as a white guy.
Because of your personal background. Yeah.
But I felt him because I watched it too. I felt him. And he started out really strong. So it wasn't even this lead in. Like, Shannon just came out and I was like, okay.
I think he knew Skip would disagree with him. Skip would disagree with him. So he was just like, right, this is happening now. Like, and normally they're really cordial and you can tell they like shake hands after like having a big bust up and stuff like that. So like they're normally fine. But this was like Shannon was going in deep and it was really emotional to see.
If you watch Shannon Sharp on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, he loves Skip, loves him. He talks about how Skip changed his life. Like, he fought for him because they didn't want an athlete at that table with Skip. You know what I mean? They wanted another Stephen A or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And Skip fought for Shannon. So they are good together and they intentionally, sometimes you look at both of them and go, I like LeBron, but it's like, Shannon, come on now. And then Skip, it's like, come on with Tom Brady. I like Tom Brady too, but he does not walk on water. But before we end this, just to clarify, I want everybody to understand, I think me and Matty are just coming at the view the same of, it's a private business owned by a man who has the right to make decisions for his business. And that was pretty much the crux of it, except I really thought it'd be interesting for Americans to get an idea of the difference of how we look at the national anthem, even though both countries are super proud of their national anthem.
Yeah. I think for us, it's like, it's the rivalry within our country of the national anthems. Like, so I think the Welsh feel more passionate about their national anthem than the English do about theirs, and the Scottish feel about theirs the same way and that kind of thing. And I just think it's like something that brings people together. So to see that much upset about somebody not wanting to play it for a very understandable reason, I find that difficult to see. And that's about it. I totally understand why people love their national anthems. Like, I'm sat here in full Welsh regalia with my Wales flag on the wall that you could see in my cricket video and stuff. So I'm a bit overly patriotic myself. But like, it's sad to see that just because somebody doesn't want to play the national anthem, they got so much hate when there was a genuine reason for him not to do so.
See, for me, it boils down to, I love, as an American, Mark Cuban standing up for what he wants. But I also love that there's people in this country who love their country so much that it bothers them. But where I get upset or hurt is that these sides clash. And there should be more of a conversation than a clash, because I really think both sides love their country. They're just doing it differently, and they don't agree with each other. And a simple conversation sometimes can bring people together.
Yeah, and we obviously mean no disrespect. And if you do want to talk to us about any of the things that we've said, then please write to us in the comments. We would love to chat to you guys about anything that you think that we said badly or you disagree with or that you agree with. That would be really nice.
I can't speak for Matty, but if you want to tell me to fuck myself, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, same.
All right, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Keep your eyes open. More coming from the Yankee and the Brit. All right, guys. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.